I know
I'm
you
talking
telling a story I never even heard.
Welcome back to the Unfiltered Doll Baby, where we get into the business of some grown folks. If gossip is not your thing, because baby, this is not your typical gossip. We are down behind the jail walls. If you turn around, we do have an exit sign with pink letters that glow. If you look on the table before you hit the door, we had some leftover clarified butter from our crab boil that we had here at the dollhouse yesterday. Feel free to take some with you and make your own once you get home. Thank you for stopping by. We love you so much. And let's get into this mess, baby. First of all, we want to shout out phone calls from prison, baby, because she gives us what? This content, okay? So we are going to start off by continuing the text messages from January 1st, 2023. If you need a recap, if you watched the previous 3 videos, Nesto is man down. Baby, he's stressed, he's bitter, and baby, he's a bit grizzled, okay? This man is going through, and somebody needs to check up on him in case he's still having flashbacks from what had happened to him. Now, if you did not know, he was in the face with an object, down on the floor, dazed and confused, baby. It was a time that he had when he first went to Fulton County, and he told us all about it. Nesto decided to repeat himself each message at a time, and we read them all, one by one. Let's continue. Now, just to clarify something from yesterday, I thought Nesto was saying that he was part of a gang initiation, meaning they were trying to bring him on as a senior member of the gang because he's a MF and gangster. That's what I had thought. But no, he was part of someone else's gang initiation, allegedly, okay? So let's continue. Anger began to flash over my body. The same anger that I had to bottle up every day. I had to be rational minded in my thinking, being that weekly and monthly charges were being added and taken away and then added again to keep me from making bond. I had no choice but to lay down to the opposing forces. It was either retaliate and face being stuck behind bars for the rest of my life, or bite the bullet and live to be free another day. So I waited until the female officer working on my floor came in to do her hourly round. When she walked in, I let her know what happened and tried to stand in view of the guy who assaulted me. She listened and did absolutely nothing. So I anxiously waited until the next morning shift to notify another male officer. His response mortified me. He told me he didn't give a damn and that I was lucky that he didn't send me to the 6th or the 7th floor where I could be facing being stabbed every day. And if you were wondering, didn't you read this yesterday? Yes, I did, but he's repeating the messages because we're part of, he's writing his book. So each time he's repeating the message, it's because it's an edit. Duh, that's why he's repeating himself. This is his book. Sonya doesn't know. He didn't tell her. He forgot to tell her that he's trying to test his book out on Sonya. Baby, not doing so well with that now, are you? And every time he makes an edit, it sounds like the same thing over and over again, but he adds a little more excitement to it each and every time. I just wanted you to know what was going on, okay? Let's continue. Sonya says, missing you so much, love. I think my issue is I feel like I'm in a relationship with you. And when I entertain another man, I feel like I'm cheating on you. Baby, that man is in jail. If you want to take that pussy cat and throw it in the circle, baby. You can take that Tootsie Cat and do what it... Listen, you do what you want to do with your Tootsie Cat. It ain't his Tootsie Cat. He can't tell you what to do with your bird. No, he cannot. You do what you want to do. If you want that bird to fly over east, west, south, and north, you do that because, baby, that is not your man. That is somebody's husband. Girl, I know you lying. And let me tell you something. If you're just saying that to get his attention, he does not give a damn. This man is trying to write a book. And instead of you paying attention, you want to tell him about somebody you popping it and dropping it with. He doesn't care. He's looking for your response because he needs to know, should I edit this chapter or not? Pay attention, Sonya. God damn. All Shirley's husband wants is your reaction. So he can say, maybe I'll edit that part and then add this. You know what I'm saying? You're not, come on here, girl. So then she says, first of all, Nesto repeats the same thing again and changes a few words. And guess what? Listen, baby, you ain't going to get me 2 days in a row. You had me once, but not twice. All right. Sonya says, I was in deep thought last night and yesterday, and I'll be in this place until you get out. I feel like my life is on hold. Baby, that's your fault, not his. That's you being stupid. I hear you, though. Seeing where we go, I know you love me, but to what degree? Since April 2022, I've had no interest in another. Every encounter was just a waste of time. Well, what was wrong, baby? They wasn't packing enough? What was it? They didn't last long? What was it, baby? Because what else can you do? You open your mouth and you ruin everything, and you can't eat much of anything. So what had happened? Tell me, baby. I won't tell a soul. I won't put it on YouTube. You can let me know what happened with those encounters that were just, a waste of your time. I'm changing my phone number when you get free. Now, that's stupid. When Shirley's husband gets free, you're changing your number because we are in January of 2023 and they were still, you know what I mean? Girl, really? That's foolish. Can't wait to see you. Can't wait to hold you. In my mind, you're mine. And when I say I'm single, I feel like I'm lying because you are. Now, how come when you say you're single and it's the damn truth, you feel like you're lying, but when you're lying, you tell us you're telling the truth? I sure hate it for you. When I say I'm single, I feel like I'm lying. How did we get here? Meant to be. Well. If it was meant for you to be in the jail behind the walls with another woman's husband, then baby, maybe you should pick up a belief in something because I think this is not it. I mean, you're putting your life on hold for somebody that's not even here on the outside world when you can just pick up a bum from the streets, let him come up in your house, eat all your produce and fruit that you wasn't going to eat anyway, and waste your damn time in person. Why get your time wasted from someone who can't even come outside to smell the air? My God. Sonya, do you know how many men are running around without a place to stay? Now, there's even some out there, they ain't got a place to stay, but they'll still help you pay those bills. Baby, there's plenty of options for you if you would like to waste your time or if you would like to be in something a little dysfunctional. Somebody got to tell you. Shit. So Ernie does reply with another snippet from his book. He says, I sat for another month, and in that time I paid close attention to the staff and the inmates. Did you play or did you pay? Be careful now. You don't want this book to publish with all, make sure your editor, let them know, okay? I stayed quiet and I listened and I concluded that Fulton County Jail was truly being ran by gang members. Allegedly, I added that into the, baby, listen, I don't want no problems. I'm just reading what he had said. Allegedly, okay? And then he said also certain staff members of the jail are affiliated with these guys in some sort of way as well. Here's another kicker. I figured out the true reason why I was placed at no bond status. Sonya replies, not cheating on you, missing your body, miss your soft lips. Love you more today. Yikes, that's so gross. Get a fucking room. Oh, you can't. You can't get a room because he's in jail. Jesus. Now, sometimes the messages, they don't make sense, and it's possible because they just had a visit and they just had a phone call, so they come to the tablet to continue that. But he's not in. Listen, he's trying to get this book done. Nesto continues, over time, I started to notice something weird going on. If you dozed off, he's letting her know why he can't get a bond. Over time, I started to notice something weird going on. There were guys in the dorm who knew for a fact either had no bond or seriously high bond amounts were being tested for the C-19 and then given a physical. Then they would vanish, disappear. I watched what happened about 30 different times. Then one day I was called to be tested and was given a physical as well. During my physical, the doctor apologized when he seen my name on the medical paperwork. He realized I was the guy who put in the medical request I told you about from 2 months before my legs were swollen. I was swabbed for C-19 and blood tested for DNA. I was also given what I thought was an eye test at first, but later learned that it turned out to be a retinal scan technology to see if I was connected to any other crimes. Rumors were being spread throughout the dorm that Fulton County had started sending inmates to other jails to help relieve the overcrowdedness in their own jail. After hearing that for myself, I made the decision to call you to inform you that, if you hadn't heard from me, that the aliens came and abducted me. No, he didn't say that, silly rabbits. What he said was, if you hadn't heard from me, that Fulton County probably moved me to another jail. About 2 weeks before I was transferred, I remember waking up in the middle of the night to what sounded like someone screaming for their life. Now get this. A lot of the doors to the cells in my dorm were either broken or rigged by inmates so that they can come and go into their rooms as they please, as well as never locked down. Certain people had dangerous things happening to them at any time. Here I am hearing a man scream for his life, and when I finally decided to take a look out my window to see what was going on, I had no idea that what I was about to see is going to haunt me for the rest of my life. I watched in disgust at more than 4 guys manhandled, beat, stripped, and brutally took what didn't belong to them. Now, he said the male did appear to be a transgendered male, is what he said. He said his screams and cries for mercy were so loud that he knows that the other officers were able to hear that. But they were proven useless as no help arrived to save him. They were only met with menacing response like, "BITCH, lay down. And you know you want this." You know what, Nesto, I can't read this, y'all. He is a sick man. He takes his imagination and he lets it run wild. And the type of imagination that he has, this is why he's sitting behind the jail walls right now. There is a way to get your story across. I get it. He's writing a book, right? But the things that you can't talk about certain things if you look at your charges that you're dealing with. When we're talking about the charges right now in 2025, I don't care what was dropped, what was removed. My man, really? I could see the demons in these dudes' tatted up faces revealing themselves. They looked like sick, lustful, untamable beasts. Well, let's get into it. Now that you brought that up, sir. Mister, let me go to Home Depot and get some dog chains. Mister, let me grab these cowboy boots and let me put this dog chain on you. Mister, let me have you sign this contract in blood. Mister, in order to work here, you got to let me do what inside of what? You know what? You are so stupid. You got to be the dumbest criminal I have ran across in a very long time, allegedly. Mr. Hold up right quick. Let me go in my bag and get something. You know, like, really? Are you serious? Mr. Hey, let me give you a massage. And then next thing you know, something then fell up inside of you. And now your pocketbook is empty because he's trying to better your life. And you ain't got nothing you paid for the services that he promised that were going to be rendered. Imagine coming across something like that. Married to Shirley Strawberry, who had no idea that her husband was a maniac. Shit, this doesn't end well, does it? This man has so many different characters and personalities that you don't know who you're going to come across. He's a walking Halloween costume. You don't know who's showing up for dinner. Y'all talk about us changing our wigs out. We got the lashes on. You just never know how we're going to show up. But this is a man right here, a wolf in sheep's clothing. See, I don't really dig deep into the shit that he's really done, allegedly. I just talk about the light things. But if you really go and do your homework, do a little deep diving, you can start at the Real Bougie Talk. If you are new around here and you don't know anything about this storyline, you can start at the Real Bougie Talk and get into her playlist. You can go to Chronicles Speak. She carried this story in the beginning. But then you can go to Real Bougie Talk and get into the playlist. You can go to Pam Esquire, her channels, and she reads the documents, meaning the receipts. If you really want to know what type of monster he is, we're not just talking about a man who's cheating on his wife. That's typical. That shit happens every second of the day. Somebody's cheating on somebody every second of the day. But if you want to get into some, you know what I'm saying, some things, baby, start with those playlists. Now, I don't know if Nyla has her playlists back up and running because she had to start her channel over, but they both had all of the information that you were needing to get into. We're not talking about a man who just scammed a few people. No, that's normal shit. People scam all the time and get caught up in the jail behind the walls. There's more to this creature than that. Okay, I just want to put that out there if you didn't know. So this isn't just about cheating, scandal, and scam. We got a whole nother side of this man. Multiple personalities. His own wife, been with his wife for 8 years. I believe she said he never even raised his voice at me. Can you imagine? Oh, how to stay into these different characters depending on who they are? He needs to be studied. This same description that you made up for your book, they look like sick, lustful, untamable beasts. You're describing yourself. You should get that on one of your shirts. You love to get a shirt with some graphics. Get that on one of your shirts. After being broken in by the ruthless gang members of the dorm, over the course of the next few days, the transgender guy couldn't take it anymore. It was like his mind went left from all the trauma he was experiencing. He started screaming at the guy who was the head of the gang members, calling him out on the fact that he was being pimped for commissary items. Yes, the gang members was selling this guy and sold to pay gambling debts for phone time and even for store goods. See, you done told on yourself again. You so damn stupid. You done told on yourself again. We out here joking around, not joking, but, allegedly thinking, oh, what are you doing with Sonya's pictures? Oh, da-da-da-da-da. You're just sitting here admitting that this type of shit happens down at the jailhouse. You're not even in prison yet. You're still in jail. Jail and prison, two different things if you didn't know. Man, you stupid. And you guys, I cut words out. He said that they were selling the guys you-know-what and sold to pay for the gambling debts, for phone time, and even for store goods. Is that why sometimes you run through that $100 that people keep sending you? Huh? Shirley wanted to know, wait, I just sent you $200. What did you do with that? Is it because you're part Because you did say you was an MF and gangster, right? Is it because you're running through because you got some debts you need to pay? Is that why Sonya got to order these glasses in other people's name? Why can't she order them in your name? I have questions, but you know what? Whatever. The next day, wreck call was announced over the intercom. The trans guy and the head gang member, as well as other people, all went outside for their free time. I don't know exactly what happened out there because I was inside, but they had gotten into this huge fight, and it caused so much commotion that the jail staff finally had to intervene. They ended up moving the head gang member to the hole and bring the hole, WHOLE. I think you met HOLE. Okay? You so busy talking about people's holes, you can't even, it's HOLE. Damn. So they moved the head gang member to the hole, and then they brought in the transgender guy back into our dorm, ironically. I never seen nothing like this in my life, especially inside of a county jail. This place was worse than prison. I just said that, Nesto. This place was like a third world country. My. So there was another gay guy that I guess the trans guy was cool with. There was another older guy who slept on a boat in the middle of the day dorm. In the middle of the day room. He stayed on the boat for weeks and hadn't moved from it since he first stepped in the dorm. He had to move from it, Nesto, because he had to use the bathroom and he had to eat. Or did he just do all of that right there on the boat? I cannot. You know what? But this is a book, so never mind. I'm sorry. It's fictional. My bad. It's fiction. My bad. Okay. He stayed on the boat for weeks and hadn't moved from it since he first stepped in the dorm. There came a point where it was like his body moved before his own mind did, and he began to shit on himself constantly. He would just sit in it like an infant child that can't do for itself. It was like he gave up on his mind and checked out. It became so unbearable, the smell, that the two homosexual guys started to try to help the man, being that no one else did. What does their sexuality have to do with helping the man that's in the boat, that hasn't moved since he came into the dorm, that then went to the bathroom on himself? What does that have to do with anything? So no one would help the man except for the two guys, and the officer would pay him no attention. The only time he ever acknowledged in any kind of way, the only time he was ever acknowledged in any kind of way is when the food trays would come and the young guys would try to steal his food. The homosexual males would try and bathe the guy and get him new clothes and sometimes even fed him. I believe that that's the special attention the older man was getting from the two gay men that made the head gang member I was telling you about earlier jealous. Baby, I just stopped reading it because at this point, oh my Lord Jesus, he's still going on and on. Oh, after the head gang member was moved to the hole, the officers moved the older gentleman into a now open cell. They locked him in there for days because of his stench. The only time they would open his door was for head count and to feed. But even then, they still failed to be consistent. Every time they would open the door and then fully close it back, the door would malfunction to the point that it would take 3 officers to force the door open. This came from the rigging of the door by the gang members. When things finally started to calm down over the next few days, I finally started to kind of get some sleep in the middle of the night. Then one night I was sleeping when all of a sudden I was woken out of my sleep to my name being called by an officer. I was told to pack my things. I was being transferred to the Cobb County Adult Detention Center. His Dream, Your Nightmare can now be purchased on Amazon.rom. That's Amazon.rom. R-O-M. Don't miss out. Hey girl, hey sugar, hey doll baby. I know, baby, life be lifing, okay? And I know you're like, girl, the grammar. Listen, keep going. You're not stuck unless you stop. And that is on, period. If you ever need to reach out to the doll baby, go ahead and email us at unfiltereddoll@outlook.com. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, baby, because you know I like to talk. And have the best day on purpose. Toodles.